So after seeing Lamar Wilson's video on this, I felt like it was time I made a video about this. This is an issue that has been going on for a while, and I thought I should, express my thoughts on it. Now, they may be controversial, so if you do not like the things going on currently in the news with the rioting and things like that, please step off this video. I don't want to offend you, but if that is something that can offend you, then you shouldn't watch this video. That is your warning. If you do stay on this video, I'm sorry. Your fault. But it is a problem that we are having currently. And I don't like this type of stuff that happens. So let's talk about it. Now, if you don't know what's going on, there was a black man who was killed. Wrongly killed by a cop. The cop was wrong. He got persecuted. He's in trouble for what he did. And there was no way to look at it. It was a wrongful killing. Whether the guy intended to do it or not, it was wrong. And some people believe he intended to do it. He did not. From my perspective, I know people who are cops. There's a cop in my neighborhood, for crying out loud, a sheriff actually, and I respect police. I've noticed that a lot of kids my age have been more disrespectful towards police, and I don't like it. I think it's absolutely awful. Someone who knows people who are cops, who, I'm not going to say who, because part of a cop's job, it's a very dangerous job, and you don't want to say, hey, I'm related to this person, and because people can find them and hurt them. It's a very risky job. It's a very hard job to do, and I don't think every aspect of cops is good. I don't think all cops are good. I don't think any cops are good. But now people are throwing shade. All cops are bad. And there's rioting and stuff. And it's very aggravating to me. I don't want to make videos right now because I'm very upset about this. Not because it's affected me personally. I'm not part of these communities of people that would be hurt by this. I mean, it has technically affected me, in my community, because there is rioting going on in my hometown. I'm not going to say where, of course, privacy reasons. Don't ever reveal your hometown on the internet. Just don't do that. I've never done it, and you should never do it too. It is a thing that has happened. There was a guy or somebody, we don't know exactly who, that called the Walmart headquarters, threatened to shoot it up and riot it up. So now all the Walmarts here in town close before 5. All the places close before 5. It's now I do live in the state of California, and our governor has not been the best about reopening stuff. And so a lot of these places that aren't reopened, that's why if you notice my hair is really bad, it's because I've been having a hard time just getting a haircut. And so a lot of this is frustrating, right? Because if you support, if you support this stuff and you feel this person was wrongfully killed, you shouldn't go out and riot and loot places. It doesn't accomplish anything. And I don't like the Black Lives Matter movement because, well, obviously all lives matter. And a lot of people who do follow these things will always say that. But when you're taking action that you wouldn't take if this was a white person. And I know this because it has happened before. Cops have been wrongly killed by white people. But it's only been on the news for a couple days. There is no rioting. There is no nothing. It's happened. Look it up. There's tons of stories out there. I'm not going to point you to any directly. I want you to research your own information. Do not take your own information and facts from me. But it is a thing that happens, and when it is a black person that is part of these communities that is wrongfully killed, it's reported on way more, and it's insulting to me because I am just upset that my race of people, my people, are being wrongfully mistreated by not giving the same respect when these things happen that your group of people is. This is a sad thing that happened, but it happens to my group of people too. Maybe more to your group. Maybe that is true. Maybe that isn't. But whether you think it is, we should at least acknowledge here that this isn't just something that happens to just black people. This isn't something that just happens to white, Asian, whatever nationality, race, sexuality, whatever. It happens to everyone. It happens to everyone. Maybe it is to more group one or another, but we shouldn't take this as it's just black people. Cops just hate black people. Yes, there are tons of evidence you could pull up that there are certain cops that are racist and do racist things, but is that all cops? No, because that's like saying because all Star Wars fans, a lot of Star Wars fans hate The Last Jedi, that means all Star Wars fans do. No, there's tons of people do, right? It's a movie that most fans don't like, but it isn't a movie that all fans dislike, and you can't really just, I know it's kind of weird comparing Star Wars to a very serious political, just sad issue, racial issue, but what I am saying is that we shouldn't treat cops like this. We should not treat them as if they're all evil now because one does a bad thing. They should be the exception, not the rule. And yes, I believe that there is a lot of fault at this cop. I saw the clip of him doing this, and I know he did it. Injustice. He didn't do it. He didn't do this. I know he. I'm trying to find the words. It's just really sad. It's frustrating. It's hard for me to find the words because this is a frustrating thing. It's affected people around me. I have friends that are of different races that are very upset and sad about this. And I have worked myself up over it. I'm trying to not turn on the news, but it's just hard because I want to know what's going on, especially in my community, right? Because this is my hometown. Where this happened miles and miles and miles away from here, and yet it's being rioted here. It's being rioted everywhere in the country right now, and it's awful because not only you're destroying communities. Like if someone looted up the Best Buy in my hometown, the one we have, that's it. They're not open. They can't afford to rebuild anything and fix anything. They can't afford to fix the smashed windows. They just can't do that. So you got that happening, buildings like that being destroyed, and these companies are like, we can't afford, so we're just done. And it's honestly just so sad. I can't believe this is happening. It is miserable. But I have some sympathy for these communities because I am not a black man. I don't know I can't fully say how it makes you feel is wrong. I can't say, oh, no, it should be treated this way. It should not be. I'm just a guy who is seeing a lot of this happening, and he's feeling sorry for your group, but also feeling sorry for my group of people. I see both sides. But we cannot disrespect the police because one man did something completely unfair, completely horrible. There's no justifying what he did. We also can't justify the rioters. I hate this comment that's been thrown around social media a lot. We can rebuild targets, or whatever, but we can't rebuild lives, and it's like, yeah, we can rebuild it, but what life are you saving? You're not saving any lives. You're protesting because you're upset, you're angry, that this person was unjustifiably killed. But I don't think even if he was alive, he would have wanted this. I don't think he wanted this terror to even be started. You know, I can't speak for the man myself, and I'm not claiming to speak for a dead person, but how do we know that he would have wanted this? We don't know, and that's the thing here. We are speaking for someone that we do not know how they feel about this, and we are acting like we do know, and it's upsetting to me. I think it's important that when we look at these people who riot and protest, there are peaceful protesters, you know, and then there's the rioters, which are obviously not peaceful protesters, and now they're being lumped in with the ones that are. So there's different things like that. So, you know, that's a sad aspect to this, that now the rioters and the protesters are being grouped into one, even though they're not all one. Not some of them are, some of them aren't. You know, I respect anyone that may feel differently to me, but as long as you're respectful about this in the comments, I'm okay with listening to your thoughts. But if you really feel passionate about this, explain your point of view politely, and I will, you know, I will respect your point of view. You know, it's just, I wanted to make this video because I am depressed over it. I'm sad about it, and I don't want to make videos right now because I'm upset over this. And I almost feel like I should just take a break until it's done, but I know I can't do that, because the best thing to do when you're upset or sad about something is not to quit doing something. You do not quit doing stuff when you're sad or upset, because what's going to happen is you're going to fall into a depression. It's going to make you sadder, and the more, you know, a lot of depressed people, their first instinct is to sit around and do nothing, and that's part of what depression does to you. It makes you you know, hesitant to do things. It makes you not have the energy that you would. But if you sit there and lay around every day and be sad, you've accomplished nothing. It makes your depression worse. You know, you know. So I will be getting back into making videos probably tomorrow after I get a haircut, or maybe the day after. I'm just wanting to take a few days, cool off, because this is something that is bothering me personally. And you know, I respect people lives, and I respect everyone's life, and everyone has a right to feel that their lives are protected by authorities like police. And I get it is upsetting sometimes when these people who are supposed to protect us aren't always able to do so, or aren't always willing to do so too. And it's upsetting, it's saddening, it's maddening even. But respect police. Don't respect all police on the same level, but just because a man is a police officer does not give you the right to throw disrespect for him. If you truly believe that all lives matter and all black lives matter and all this stuff, then so do cops, because they're people too underneath those uniforms. And people have prejudice and things like that, whether it's right or not. You still should respect all lives as one. And yes, when a cop is not able to do so, he will be punished, because this man was punished, whether you like it or not. This man did something wrong. He was punished, and we need to respect that, and we need to stop with this rioting and all this stuff. You know, these are the reasons I make political talk videos, is because these are things that bother me, things that I want to create discussion about, and I think it's important that people be educated on political issues, because the thing is about it here is, you know, here in America, we live in a democracy, and when you vote for people, you want change to be instated through those people. So you gotta vote for the right people and know what they're coming from, what they're trying to do, because whatever goes wrong in our country, you cannot say is a problem if you did not vote at all. And so I think it's important that people be educated on this, and I'm sure that in the coming years there will be presidents and people who come in who want to change how these communities are treated, and I think that's a good thing, and I think that's something very important that we need to keep our eyes on, keep educated on, and not try to cause more problems while we are waiting for change to happen, because change is something that is not always immediate, and majority of the time is not immediate, and we need to give it time to come, and give time for things to change. If we truly want to change what's going on in the world, we need to be patient, we need to be respectful to the people around us, and we need to be positive, because one of the greatest people who protested for your rights is Martin Luther King. And he was a peaceful protester. He was a man that fought for other things that majority of people did not agree with him, but there were other people that protested for the same things that he protested for. They were more aggressive about it, and they were not able to change anything. Maybe a few slight things, but nothing that great of a change. And so now we have people like this that we should we should remember people like that who would spark changes, people that fight with love and kindness, and fight for respect of everyone's rights equally. And so it's like, we need to respect those people and look at what those people did, and remember how those people were able to spark change in the world, a positive change, and change things for the better. And we need to always remember those people and try to be more like those people as a society. I think that is a big thing that is not represented well about Martin Luther King. How much of what he did, it was not through just from what he was protesting for and what he was trying to get, but how he was trying to achieve it, and the steps he took to get there. And that's the most important aspect of his stance, and we need to remember that. So I hope everyone's safe out there, blah blah blah. I'm cutting it off here.